Mattel released 16 castings during the first year of production, featuring 11 California customs for show cars and a Le Mans race car, the Ford J. Initially produced only in the US, the success of the toys forced Mattel to quickly open a factory in Hong Kong. All 16 cars were made in both the US and Hong Kong factories, with each version having subtle differences from the other in almost all aspects, making the US and Hong Kong versions unique from each other. Now, let's take a look at the 160 for Revival Restored Collection. The Silhouette, one of the original 16, is one of the most recognized and best-loved Hot Wheels cars of all time, based on a show car built by Bill Cushenberry in 1962. Seen here as originally acquired in rough condition. It was refinished in a gold Spectra Flame with new wheels, bubble glass, and spruced-up engine. Next up, the custom Eldorado was based on the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado two-door coupe. The 1967 Eldorado was unlike any previous Cadillac. Not only that it had front-wheel drive, but it had style and attitude. A few examples are known, lacking the black roof paint, which may be a production error, however. None have ever been found in the package.
Here, ready for restoration, not much was changed.
New paint job, painted vinyl top and new wheels. And who wouldn't want a pink Cadillac? Now let's go to the one that helped start it all. The custom Fleetside was based on the 1964 El Camino, owned by the first designer of Hot Wheels cars, Harry Bentley Bradley.
As you can see, it needed a paint job, glasswork, and new wheels.
And that's just what it got in Spectra Flame Purple, touch-up on the Velocity stacks and grille. The Fleetside also appeared in the Sky Show series playset alongside the Diora.
Which brings us to the next model in the collection.
One of the first 16 Hot Wheels in 1968, the Diora is a customized surfer truck designed by Mattel's first Hot Wheels designer, Harry Bentley Bradley. Interestingly, in 1964, Bradley designed the real Dodge Diora in collaboration with the Alexander brothers.
This piece of the collection needed only minimal work.
And finished out in a great Spectra Flame Gold, repainted toner cover, new wheels and signature surfboards.
Next up,
the Chevy Camaro will always be the quintessential American muscle car. Introduced in 1967, Camaro was Chevy's answer to Ford's Mustang that debuted a couple of years before. In fact, not only was it one of the first Hot Wheels cars, but many experts claim it was the first one tooled, assembled, and brought into production in 1968.
It has been said that there is no any other ridline casting that has as many variations as the custom Camaro. Here, this US example was in need of a paint job, windshield, and wheels.
And once finished, it sports dazzling Spectra Flame blue paint, new glass, and chrome red liners. The custom Barracuda was based on the 1967 Plymouth Barracuda two-door fastback coupe.
The absence of mechanical detail on the US version is noteworthy, and the Hong Kong casting has the typical suspension holes like with all early Hong Kong castings. The bases are interchangeable with the two types of bodies, which has resulted in mixtures of parts from both factories that are known as hybrids. This Cuda was needing repaint and all new glass, so it got an apple green Spectra Flame look with new glass and shoes. Next up,
the Hot Wheels custom Corvette was a member of the original 16 in 1968.
Mattel would beat General Motors to the punch, however, by having the Hot Wheels version of the 1968 Corvette in stores before the real car hit Chevy showrooms.
Some Corvettes have been found with deep dish wheels, although very few. These have surfaced in blister packs. Finding a loose Corvette with deep dish wheels is in doubt. This US Vet needing a hood replacement got a fresh coat of blue Spectra Flame and looking sharp again. Next, the Cats on the Prowl. The custom Cougar was based on the 1967 Mercury Cougar two-door coupe. Luxury aside, the Cougar had a 390 engine and could run with the best in the quarter mile. Number 9 on the list. The Pontiac Firebird was designed as a pony car to compete with the Ford Mustang. It was introduced February 23, 1967. This bird was in good condition, only needing new paint, some wheels and a polishing. Once complete in an olive Spectra Flame and deep dish wheels, she's ready to fly down the road.
Next up, the 5th generation 1967 T-Bird was neither a muscle car nor a luxury car and never really found a niche with buyers. The body castings of the two versions are quite similar. The fender wells on the US model are a bit larger, and the front fender opening is cut higher. All custom T-Birds are bearing type wheels. Here we see this restoration needs paint, wheels, and a replacement hood. The completed Restore sports an orange Spectra Flame paint job with a brand new hood, no vinyl roof, and new red lines. One of the true iconic cars of all time. The Ford Mustang was introduced in May of 1964 and has dazzled car enthusiasts ever since.
The Hot Wheels Mustang casting was based on the 1967 Fastback, easily one of the hottest styles and made popular in movies like Bullet and Gone in 60 Seconds. This number 8 pony acquired with the red on red needed paint, glass, and new shoes. After restoration, it got just that and ready to run fast and free.
Let's switch gears and go racing. The Ford J car was one of the original 16 models released in 1968.
It was the first of the replicas of actual race cars in the Grand Prix series.
The real Ford J cars were the predecessors of the Ford GT40 Mark IV. Here a kid-painted version ready for restore got a blue Spectra Flame paint job and new wheels ready for its decals to hit the track. Now let's really go hot rodding. The Hot Heap is based on the Ford Model T and the King T, which is a 1913 Ford Model T Roadster owned by Don Tognotti.
Here we need the interior, repaint, glass, and wheels to soup up this classic. Next, let's check out the Beatnik Bandit. The Beatnik Bandit was based on a show car of the same name created in 1963 by Ed Big Daddy Roth. US Bandits were in a large number of colors, including second-generation yellow, magenta, and hot pink. Seen here ready for restoration. This Bandit got new bubble glass, paint, wheels, and spruced-up engine. Another member of the first 16 group of Hot Wheels cars, the Python, originally called the Cheetah, was based on a car built in 63 called the Dream Rod. This original Python in green got a makeover in Spectra Flame orange with new red lines but without the black top. Last but not least, Mattel's first version of the Volkswagen Beetle was called the Custom Volkswagen. The Custom Volkswagen featured a blown V8 engine, a single front seat, and center steering wheel. This little Beetle needed some TLC and got it with Aqua Spectra Flame paint, new wheels, and polished engine.
Thank you for joining us for the 160 for Revival Sweet 16 Restored Collection.
All historical information was provided by OnlineRedlineGuide.com.